Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Score. Today I'll be sharing some details and composition techniques about my work, Eagle's First Flight. Eagle's First Flight was one of my first compositions for concert band. I started to write it in 2009 after losing my grandfather, as well as one of my college mentors, just over a month apart from each other. I started to sit down at the piano and improvise a chorale, and this became the main motif used in Eagle's First Flight. While writing this piece, I wanted to pay tribute to the fact that both of these amazing people were in the armed forces, so I added a roll-off figure to acknowledge their contributions to the military. Towards the end of the piece, the entire ensemble gets to say their goodbye. Each part has a rhythm that sounds out "rest in peace" as the work begins to reach its coda. I was very proud of the work and showed it to a few people. They liked the idea of the piece, but not the piece itself. Between the emotional connection I had while writing this work and the disapproval that I felt from those that I shared it with, I was extremely discouraged, and as a result, Eagle's First Flight sat stagnant and untouched for several years. Interestingly enough though, several years later, I sat down at the piano and I started to think about how could I write a better introduction for this piece. So I started to experiment with the names of my grandfather as well as my college mentor, spelling them out using the AHOV grid to assign scale degrees to each letter. Then, I experimented with harmonies to work with their names. Lastly, I found points to create cadences and phrases. And it was at this point that I knew this was the intended way to start and end this work. So in 2012, I finished this piece 3 years after I started it. It finally felt complete to me. On July 9th, 2013, I premiered Eagle's First Flight with the Smithtown Community Band. It was an emotional performance, and I was honored to have my grandmother, who lived in Pennsylvania, come to Long Island to hear the first performance of this piece. Eagle's First Flight is now published through Tux People's Music, and it can be found worldwide through your favorite sheet music retailer. As of July 2023, Eagle's First Flight was selected to be part of Make Music's Cloud Interactive Library. So that's a little history behind Eagle's First Flight. I hope that you found value in this episode, and as always, if there's anything that I can do to serve you or your ensembles, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you enjoyed this episode, please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram, and join my mailing list through my website. Until then, happy music making.